streaming. Yeah, because I forgot to include YouTube in it, in the
Uh-huh.
Restream.io service. Yay! Let's see if YouTube also is now picking up.
I think so. I could hear us. Why do I have a beard?
Well, that is because I thought you'd like to have a beard. I don't know. It was just a pleasant idea.
Well, it does distinct me from you then, so that makes it a bit more
Well,
clear.
the
But
fact is, I also have a beard. Actually, I didn't shave for like a week now. That is quite funny.
I shaved off my beard this morning, so
I
I
still
no
have.
longer have one.
I still have to do that. So,
I was in a good mood this morning, so I thought, well, let's shave off my beard. Usually I leave it until Monday. I still go to work again.
oh well. Let's see. The chat is included. So, yeah, I think I will shave somewhere this evening. Or after this live stream, maybe, or after some games. I don't know. I mean, it's actually getting a little bit full now, so that's quite funny. So,
Well, it does isolate your face a little bit, so.
yeah, I mean, I'm still young, young and attractive, but hey, that's completely true.
Of course.
But of course, my emoji doesn't show a beard, so that's good. Oh, you have to make your own emoji if you want to have glasses. So
Yeah, I
that's.
have a beard, no glasses, doesn't even look like me, Ronnie. I must complain. Sorry.
I don't care. I mean, it looks pretty well with those AirPods in, and that's kind
Yeah,
of.
AirPod. I have brown eyes. I don't even have an Apple device. So why do you want to use AirPods? AirPods.
I don't know. I just thought they were funny. Why are you
Just put them in
complaining?
your own ears. I look more like the other guy.
No, that's me. Because I have more
I
of that
blue
hair.
eyes too, Ronnie. I mean, I don't know, but
You have blue eyes? I never noticed. Even not in Hamburg and that kind of shit.
have you never looked into my eyes very deeply?
No. Why should I? There's no reason to.
I have in yours while you were sleeping.
I know. Hey, but Mark, how was your week anyway?
My week.
Yes.
My week was very tiring with a lot of complaining customers. So actually, I don't want to discuss my week anymore because it was extremely tiring. I was happy that it was a weekend, and then the family showed up on Saturday.
Yep. Oh well, my week was boring as well. Boring customers on the phone, which is normal. That's what you work in a contact center for. But at least we have a job.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're boring. It's just that they're annoying because
they're boring and annoying, a combination of both. And I have a new headset thanks to you, so yay!
Yay!
That's a little birthday gift. Very
Yes,
good, Mark.
I just got the credit card bill today, so it was pretty big.
Well, that's what you spent. If you want to give me a lovely present, I mean, because you didn't show up on my birthday for the last 8 years, so.
But it did earn me a lot of membership reward points for my card, so.
That's you talking about your credit card again.
Yes, from American Express.
From American Express.
Life without it.
Well, Mark, you can start off with your first topic that you found.
Yes. So interesting news. So MediaTek, like the company that used to make all kinds of processors for like media box devices a couple of years ago, and they're also into processing business still. And they have announced a medium grade 5G chip. I mean, it is a bit odd. I mean, like, I don't know other medium grade 5G chips, but apparently this is kind of special. And so that makes like in between phones, like not the cheapest ones and also not the expensive ones, give them the possibility to have a cheap 5G chip, because the price, of course, also is lower than from a normal 5G chip.
Yep. Maybe that will give better phones. Maybe better phones with a 5G capability, so that you don't have to go like to if you're going to like the 300 euro budget phones, you actually get a 5G chip on board.
Well,
maybe
budget phone. It's not really a budget phone, 300
No.
500, but
No.
I mean, it is like what he says. I mean, like you said, you do want a 5G as well with these phones.
Yep.
And since it's not that common yet, they only started with the 5G. They will start 5G network in the Netherlands coming Tuesday. They will roll it out in the big cities.
Actually, just for let you know, Vodafone is already in the whole country. But yeah.
No, it isn't. It doesn't.
According to my internal news, it is, but it might be wrong, because I work for that company, if you didn't remember.
nobody has a 5G phone and it's not been announced yet. So it might
No.
be there. I mean,
It is there.
probably, but
Actually, I can
it's
pick it
not
up with one
functioning
of my
yet.
devices. I can pick it up with one
Oh,
of my devices. I have to say I'm quite disappointed because they installed a mast near the paper factory here. Which we are not really happy because that is a fucking magnet. So it doesn't really work. In my opinion, also 5G is a little bit of a gimmick. So for me, it's not really necessary. But people, it's hype. So people want to have 5G because it's the next generation. And
well, I
if you
can
believe
imagine.
other people, it will also give you corona. So if you believe those people, it's completely up to you what you want. I don't need it. Maybe in the future I like it, but for now I don't really need it just
Can
yet.
imagine if you have very bad reception, if you start using 5G now immediately, your reception will be great because not a lot of people use it yet, and it's a different frequency than from 4G. So
Yep.
I guess if you use it right now and you have bad reception, you probably will have good reception.
Yeah, so yeah, it's completely up to you if you need it, but it's cool that they finally have like budget chips, so that's cool. A little bit more budget, mid range, which is cool. So also the mid range budget will get like a decent 5G chip instead of like the cheap
Well, the funny
4G.
thing, this is not really not only a 5G chip, but it's baked in a system on a chip.
Yep.
And that's basically a Cortex processor and a GPU. So it's basically just a whole chip thingy for mid-range phones. So interesting stuff. I would like to try it out if I will get my hands on it. So
Yep.
yeah, it has 4K video. Yeah, it would be interesting to see what the phone with that chip will cost.
Yeah, I will be happy to test one. So people, if you want to send me one, I will happily test it for you.
I don't think anybody will send you one, Ronny.
No, but I won't even buy it because I don't really need it. I don't really see a big reason to use 5G.
You don't need it yet.
No, don't need it yet. And maybe
You
not.
use Apple anyway, so you have to wait until Crapple announces 5G.
Yeah, and for now, I'm actually pretty happy with my 4G capabilities on this phone, which are pretty good. I don't need a very high download speed. I don't do 4K live streaming on my phone. My phone can do that anyway, but it's not really needed for me. So I don't really need it. I'm happy with my 4G capabilities on my phone. I've more than enough reception, even in the underground in Amsterdam. I have great reception, so yeah, for me that's all there is actually.
I would like to try it out to see what the difference is because we're only used to 4G, and that was quite a lot better than 3G. I think just 4G is just really faster than 3G. I guess that was the case. This doesn't seem to be faster as much, so I would like to see what the.
I
what the
think you will
difference
get like what they actually want with 5G is actually lower latency. That's actually where they're actually aiming for, like lower latency. So if you want to game on your mobile device, you have lower latency and that kind of shit. So that's what it actually is developed for, to lower down the latency. Not really speed. I mean, yeah, 5G is faster. That's a thing, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, of course it's faster, but not that much. But I would wonder if you download a web page through 4G for your app, and I think then 5G should be faster, quicker, more efficient.
it should be, yeah, definitely. But like
Where available at least.
yeah, but I don't know why people actually want it right now, because I actually have that on the phone that people are asking for 5G. And then I'm actually asking those people, why do you actually need it? What's the reason why you need 5G for in the first place? To watch better on Netflix? I mean, yeah, fair.
I guess.
I said, well, 5G is faster, but you also burn your data much faster. So keep that in mind if you're going to watch Netflix 4K on your phone on a 5G connection. You will be out of bandwidth in no time. Your data will be gone. Your data will be gone in no time. I mean, since we all have data plans still. So yeah, I mean,
Alright,
we will have to
we will
see.
see.
We will see actually what the future brings. I was really happy when 4G came out because I was really tired of 3G. So I took 4G when it came out, basically, because I actually had a phone that was capable of doing that. Because 3G was actually a good introduction. It was relatively fast, but it wasn't really that strong. And yeah, so I was actually pretty happy with 4G. 5G, I don't really see the reason to. Not yet, at least. Maybe later, but for now, I don't really see the reason. I don't
But
game on my phone anyway, so.
Ronnie, what have you to announce to us to discuss?
Actually, what I was actually not really a
What say
surprise,
ye?
what actually not really a surprise for me, is that Apple will bring Face ID to the Mac, which is actually quite funny. If you have a phone that supports Face ID, that will also work on the Mac, which I'm not really surprised that they actually announced that. There is not really much that says 9 to 5 Mac. I know those guys. Actually, I know that people think they announce Mac rumors and that kind of things. I can't test it. I can't really say much about Face ID since I don't use it. I won't even use it if I can because I think it's too slow, in my opinion. I would rather use my fingerprint ID anyway. But it's quite funny that they're actually going to use that in the latest Mac series, so with their own Bionic chip. So we will see how what that goes. I mean, I don't see the reason to use that, but maybe that's just me, I guess. A lot of people will be happy with it that they can use their Face ID on their Mac to unlock it with your face, same as Windows Hello. I don't use both of those features. I can, but I don't. So
I always switch on my computer and then it works.
I always switch on my computer. I type in my password, or even I will actually use my fingerprint because I have a fingerprint reader connected to my computer because that wasn't that expensive, and yeah, I use that basically. So for me, it's not really needed. I can also use a password, which is also quick. I don't really see the reason. I think it's quite funny that you can actually authenticate yourself with a cam, with a picture. Or so yeah, that's quite
Is
funny.
is it used a lot in companies? Because every company I worked for, you always use your old-fashioned password. So
Yeah, even my company where I work for still use a password. Even when we have
yeah,
like those lovely chips in our phones, cameras, and our passes to actually get into the building. No, we
I
still
think it's
use.
funny that there's always so much attention for these kind of features because apart from people using it at home or I don't know, maybe for your own personal laptop that you use for work or something, and otherwise nobody uses it. I mean, or your phone, I can imagine with fingerprint, and a lot of people use the fingerprint thing, and it makes sense. But yeah, this Face ID thing, I don't know why you want to use it.
I don't know. I still don't know. People
Yeah,
like it.
more
People
like a
don't like
gimmick.
it. It's more like a gimmick for
It's
me.
possible, so we do it. So
I do have to say that Apple did a really good job in introducing it. Even when they introduced it, it didn't work. So that's quite funny. But yeah, it's quietly encrypted. Apple's technology is pretty good in it, but I don't really see a reason, since most businesses use a password anyway. So I don't really see a reason for me. I have a
hmm.
fingerprint scanner. I mean, it's quite fun that it's come to the Mac because they basically already have the technology. I mean, they already have that type of camera sensor and that kind of shit. They already have the chip that can do that. So they're already pretty good in it at it, but yeah, we'll see.
So just to stay in the same same sort of thing. Um, Apparently, there's a company who does with Linux laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know there's a market for Linux, so that's not that
Ah,
strange.
Linux, yes.
But this one has a Ryzen 4800H processor. I think that's one of the newest. And it's interesting that it actually looks pretty good. It looks like a regular Windows processor, and Windows laptop. A laptop with Ryzen is quite special because it's not that widely implemented yet. Um, it looks like quite a modern laptop with a USB-C port and 8 gigs of RAM, and etc. NVMe hard disk, SSD disk. What would you use such a laptop for, Ronnie?
I don't know.
And
Maybe for
lightning.
encryption. Maybe for have more security, more safety. Just people want to use Linux apparently on the laptop. I saw it lately on Short Circuit from Linus Tech Tips. It's another channel of Linus Tech Tips, which
But
Anthony was reviewing one
what
of
do you
those
do with
laptops.
Linux?
You can game on it these days, but he's using
Game on
more
it.
Pop OS, but that's also Linux. But yeah, you can even game on it apparently. And I saw some videos. That's actually pretty damn close to like Windows performance.
Mm-hmm.
People just want to use it apparently. I like Linux. I have it on a few computers here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are too old to run Windows, or I just don't want Windows on them anyway. Like our TeamSpeak server is Windows, but the background is Linux. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's
Alright.
just getting more capabilities, more things. You
Yeah,
can
because
customize a little bit more because Linux is open source, so that's a little bit better. And security-wise, it's better than Windows.
Linux has been around for a long time, but I never really understand what people are using Linux for. I mean, maybe some I don't know, specific software or something. I don't know.
Well, we have to say that Linux is actually coming from a long way, actually. Linux was in the beginning like really like a text-based thing, very hard to use.
Yeah, it was more like
But yeah, but nowadays it's
for
actually
diehards.
looking like a Windows environment. It's
Yeah,
looking like
I've
you
seen
have
it.
a
Yeah.
desktop, you have a start menu, you can download apps, you even have an app store.
Oh,
You
really?
can, yeah, you even can download games on it through a special trick, and you can even
Yeah,
play.
because that's the whole thing, isn't it? Like the popular software, for instance, Office package. Is that available for Linux?
Oh yeah, there will be. I mean, I actually have Pop! OS installed on one of my laptops, and I actually played Fortnite on it today, and it actually ran pretty well. The only thing is that sometimes it crashes for no reason, but that's I think to do with the operating system not really knowing what to do. I don't know, but that's actually quite a cool experience. Actually, game on a Linux machine.
All right.
So actually, yeah, there's a market for it, and I think it's pretty cool because not everyone wants Windows with their forced updates. Those forced updates are not there on Linux, so they don't exist. So I think that's the reason, and there is no advertising like you have that your Windows is suddenly downloading Candy Crush or whatever. Suddenly I had Candy Crush on my computer, and I was thinking,
Yeah.
I never installed that
No,
bullshit.
I had it in the beginning. Then it says, yeah, games, and then I saw 4 or 5 games there that's like a mobile game, and it's like, I don't want these games. Why the hell do I have it? But just seem to install it out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
so I actually have an app that's blocking those programs so they can't do anything. So that's actually so
That's
that
weird.
those things aren't there. So Linux is more open than Windows. Even when a lot of people are used to Windows, including me and you, and also use Apple. Apple. So yeah, that's actually what you actually want to use. So it actually
All right.
depends. Yeah.
Well, it looks nice. It's a nice laptop. It's about what was it? Name the price here. 800 something euros, I think. 850 euros.
Yeah,
Something like that.
they're coming a long way. And the fact that Linux is pre-installed, so it does work on that specific hardware. So yeah, we have to see what it actually brings. Maybe later, maybe next year, or maybe later we actually play other things. I guess so we will see.
On a Linux laptop. Well, interesting. And what topics do you have next, Ronny?
Actually, I don't. I was really able to find a lot. Because it's actually quite boring in this segment anyway.
Because it's summer, there's not much happening at the moment.
No, there's not much happening, and there was a lot of news lately, but a lot of things are actually already discussed by like other YouTubers. So, and we are a bit late, but hey, we work actually, so we don't really always have time to actually do this. Let's see.
True.
Not really that much.
No, there's not much news. Something about 5 nanometers process for Samsung phones. But the yield is very low, of course, because it's quite complicated to produce on that small. What do you call that?
Oh
That
well.
small of a chip.
No, and what I actually find pretty funny, actually, that's really an Apple thing a little bit, is that the iPhone SE is responsible for 19% of the iPhone sales in the US. So the iPhone SE, the 2020 edition, is 19% of the iPhone sales, which is actually quite funny, because it's actually a pretty decent, good iPhone, even when it doesn't support all those very good camera settings. It only has one 4K sensor, which is fine for me. But yeah, apparently it does a pretty good job in the US, and I can't really say otherwise than it's a good phone if you want to have a
Probably because
iPhone.
it's not that big. It's an iPhone and it's less expensive than a
According to a good friend of mine, it's a budget phone, but only budget in Apple means.
Still 1,000 euros or something.
Still 500 euros if you actually round it up a little bit. But it's still like 500 euros, and that's budget for Apple these days. So actually, if you want a budget iPhone, take it. It's a very decent phone. I have it for alarm since May, so it's still working, still not dead, still good charger.
I would
Yeah,
expect it to be still be working.
true. And a lot of people actually say that they will wait for the iPhone 12 and then the iPhone 11 and Pro will maybe lower down in price. And I was actually waiting for that to happen. But the only sad thing but true is that I needed a new phone because my old iPhone died. So I couldn't wait until the later
Yes,
iPhone.
you needed a new phone and you needed a new headset, Ronnie.
Yeah, I needed a new phone because my iPhone died. Actually, the dock connector died again, and now my whole phone is dead. My iPhone 6, which is surprisingly, it survived 5 years. I was able to swim with it. It was underwater with me in the swimming pool. So yeah, it survived a lot. Yeah, now it's dead, which is fine. 5 years ago, I bought it. Yeah, so yeah, I needed a new phone. So for me, the SE was a logical choice. I'm ever never going to pay $1,000 for a phone anyway, so that's quite stupid. So yeah, so I needed a new phone. I couldn't wait. Otherwise, I maybe had to wait. But I don't really like the new design of the iPhones anyway. So I don't really like that they're forcing me to use Face ID. Ugh, terrible.
Well, maybe I have another little article here since I
Mm-hmm.
just bought an in-ear headset.
Ah, you did, yeah.
I see that Asus also had introduced an in-ear headset. I'm not sure if they ever did something like this. I don't think so. It is an in-ear headset with active noise cancelling.
Oh, which one? That's from Acer. Okay.
Yeah, from Asus, and it's from
Hmm.
the ROG series, so the gaming line series, and it is about €100. So it is a little bit expensive. I'm not sure how the sound quality would be then. It looks a little bit like the headset I just bought, a bit similar, which was originally €90. So yeah, I guess it's in the same kind of price range. That's interesting. I would like to see how that sounds actually.
Yeah, I'm quite surprising actually. I still
Hmm.
use my
Yeah.
AirPods. My AirPods Series 1, they sound good, but I'm actually looking for a new pair of headphones anyway to
Well, if you
use
have
it
a
on my.
USB-C port, you can use this one, but I don't think you have one on the.
Nope.
No,
No.
no. I can use one. I have a USB-C port on my phone.
I'm still using the very trustworthy Lightning
Oh, but
adapter.
then it's completely digital. Okay, that's interesting as
No,
well. There's no analog 3.5 millimeter cable on it, so it's only digital. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah,
interesting,
would like to hear
yes.
that.
So, you had one more topic, actually. You had something
Yeah.
about the Apple, what you said. We actually have to make a doc about it so that we actually can share these things. You actually had something
Oh,
about
yeah.
Apple with their latest Mac with Intel processors. You said something about it, so yeah,
Yeah, but the article doesn't say a lot about it. It's very short. Just say that the latest Mac is going to use an Intel chip,
yeah, I've read
Intel
about it. Yeah.
Comet Lake. It doesn't say a lot about it. That was
Oh,
surprising because I thought they were going to use their own chips, but
it's
well, not
actually
apparently
one.
not
It's
this
actually
generation.
no. It's actually a part of like their exit strategy. Actually, their strategy to like let people know that they will still support Intel for 2 years, and then slightly they will move to their own silicon. That's how their strategy works, which is also pretty good because you cannot go from like, hey, fuck you, Intel. We are now going to our own chips, and tomorrow we only make our own MacBooks with their own chips. I think that doesn't work like that. So unless you want to get bankrupt.
It is the newest Intel chip, so
Yeah, true too.
it wouldn't be off that bad at least. Hey, but why you want to use an iMac anyway? Haha.
I use an iMac.
Yeah,
I use it.
let's not talk about that.
Oh, oh yes, we do. Ooh, that lovely Apple
And I
chime.
know a lot of people who use an iPhone, but I don't know a lot of people who use an iMac.
I do. I'm here. I'm sitting here. I'm
Yeah, but
using an iMac.
I mean, most normal people don't use iMacs.
I have an iMac. I also have a Mac Pro under my desk. I use one. Don't
Even
say
less
that.
people who use Mac Pros.
I have a Mac Pro under my desk. Come on. Don't say that people don't use that. I'm really mad right now.
No, but I mean,
I
of
don't want
course,
to
I was
talk to you
making a
anymore.
joke.
No,
But
no, no,
I
no.
mean,
I don't want to
I
talk to
mean,
you. No.
which regular people use an iMac? I'm not in the Netherlands. Not a lot of people use iMacs.
Well, at
Maybe a
least,
pro one if you really do something industrial thing with it, but not in daily use. Nobody uses an iMac.
well, I'm using it in daily life for my work.
Yes, for
I,
work, but that's what I said.
I'm really sad now. I thought we were friends, but apparently not.
Well,
So
you keep insisting to use that crapple stuff, so
no, it's nothing wrong with Crapple. It's really good. It's an
yeah. But just
ecosystem.
seriously, iMacs. Do
Yes.
you know any people who use iMacs in daily life just for the personal
Uh,
computing?
besides from me, 3 people in my entire career and life. Yes,
Yeah, I
3.
mean, I know nobody. I never heard anybody say, "Oh, yes, I just got the new iMac. Gonna go play games on it or something."
No,
Nobody
because
does that.
that is because it's a superior device, and superior
That nobody
device.
can afford.
That's completely true. So yeah, we need like superior people that can manage them. So it has to be superior.
Uh-huh.
That's just how it is. You can't
Mhm.
say a lot about it, but it's superior.
Oh well. Anyway, yeah, I guess this is all the news we have, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't really find that much thing that we could actually talk about. Actually, that's
No, well, still quite a
interesting.
lot. We've been
Yeah,
talking for half an hour. So.
no, 26 minutes and 17 seconds. 18 seconds to be exact. 20, 21. Well, I can still keep counting, but no. Yeah, we can do like a little bit of relaxing chat. Yeah, you bought me my new headset. How does that feel that you actually bought me a headset for my birthday?
Terribly, because I saw the credit card bill today. And I thought, that's quite expensive for somebody. Something I gave to someone and I didn't gain something from it.
Well, actually, I paid you a little bit as we
Yes, I
actually.
saw it coming back. I already have it. Thank
That's
you
true.
very much.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's a pretty good headset. It works. So yeah, the only thing I don't really like is the cable is a little bit thin. So what I will actually do is I will actually put some heat shrink on it, actually to make it a little bit thicker, so that it doesn't break that easily. Yeah.
These cables always get damaged over
Now maybe
time.
I will actually buy some cable sleeves and actually sleeve this cable so
Yeah.
that it will be a little bit
It's
thicker.
interesting because my headset is like a similar one, also from Logitech, and I have this like this cotton sleeve over the plastic cable. So, but
Yeah.
apparently you don't have it.
No, I don't have it. It's a pretty good headset. It sits pretty well. Good sound
Yeah.
quality. Yeah.
It feels. I think it feels quite heavy, but if you put it on your ears,
Yeah, it feels quite heavy
actually, it's
actually.
not that annoying.
No, it's actually
Pretty light.
pretty light actually compared to my old headset which I bought 2 years ago, which died 2 years ago, I have to say.
Tight. And since that time, you have been using everything cheap phones, a normal microphone in front of you, microphones from mobile
China.
phones
Yeah, microphones
from
out of
China.
China.
You ordered one before, but that one never arrived. And when it arrived, it was the wrong one.
Yes. I always have, and then I bought a headset, but then I needed some conversion jack, which never arrived because the delivery guy refused to deliver it.
And put you on a blacklist.
So yeah, no, and actually, I'm going to sell off this headset, Acer Nitro, which I bought. Actually, I'm going to sell it because I have no use for it.
No.
So I paid 45 euros for it, but I will ask 20, which is actually fair enough for the 5 minutes I used it. So I could also bring it back to the store, but I forgot the receipt anyway. So the receipt is somewhere, so I couldn't bring it back in the first place. So it's fine. Yeah. So that actually, yeah. And also what I did is I bought, and I bought also a insurance for my bike. Yay! Yeah, which I bought an insurance for like 3 years. Yay! Which was I did that since I use it for my work, and since I was thinking, well, why not insure it since people like to steal things these days. There's a lot of like people in my neighborhood that like to steal, so they like to take things without paying for it. They like to break open the door and like take it with them, because that's what they do these days. They don't like to pay for something. And since that's actually more and more happening in my neighborhood, I was thinking, well, I will just take an insurance, full insurance on the bike, like theft insurance, damage insurance, and maintenance insurance. So, yeah, since I'm going to use it regularly, so I was thinking, well, let's pay 300 euros for the insurance all at once.
Wow.
So Yep, it
It's a
is.
lot of money.
It's yeah, that's true, but it's now fully insured, so that's quite cool. Now, normally I don't do that. So normally, if I build my own e-bike or e-bikes for other people, which I do, then I don't do anything with insurance. I said, well, you have insurance, and if you leave the garden, your insurance is over. So that's what I always say. I will build it for you, but if you leave my garden, my ground, the insurance is gone. But people actually accept that. And I also advise them just take a little insurance, like €10 a month or €5 a month, or whatever.
Well,
But
you have
yeah,
an expensive bike, so
it's $1,000. It's $1,000 e-bike, which actually I already filmed the review, by the way, but I have to edit it a little bit, and that will be coming online somewhere in next week. So yeah, I made a video review about it after 2 weeks of using that bike. So yeah, that's actually quite expensive to actually that insurance that actually ripped me off a little bit. But yeah, I was thinking, well, since the crime rate is getting higher these days because a lot of people don't have money, so they rather steal than buying something or finding a job, which is quite hard these days. So yeah, I was thinking, well, why not insure it anyway, since people tend to steal things these days, and e-bikes are pretty hot because people want to steal e-bikes apparently. Yeah, so yeah, we
I
have to
can
see.
imagine why. I mean, it's the next best, the hottest best thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
it's
bike,
in bike
bike
term,
wise.
yeah,
Yeah.
bike wise, definitely, yeah. So yeah, I had to pay the insurance. I also had to pay my house insurance again. Yeah, and next week I'm actually going to like the bank to actually discuss finance for my house. Yay, for my first ever house that I'm going to buy instead of rent. So yay.
Yay.
Yeah, that will be somewhere next week. So I will tell you all about it next week somewhere. Yay. But I think that's it. I don't have anything to talk about. Maybe you have, but did you already finish your paintings in your house?
No, because I was very lazy today.
As usual. Did you already
And I
make a
was
video?
no.
When are you going to do that? I mean, you are saying that for like the past month,
Half a
actually.
year.
Half a year.
The
That you.
computer is actually standing in my other room for about a year now. I still have to take it apart.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to hurry up because otherwise the parts are not worth anything anymore.
Well, just pick up your phone, press the camera button, film it.
Actually, I need something to put my phone in, like a
Just buy.
stand or a
Just
selfie stick or.
just buy a stand, a camera stand. They are not expensive.
Yeah, cost me
But
money.
yeah, true. It will cost you money, or you build one out of Lego, which I did in the beginning. Actually, it
That was
worked.
hilarious. That
Yeah,
thing crashed so many times.
yeah, actually, but it worked. And later, it was Lego that was fake Lego anyway. So actually, later I glued it together, and it's still working as of today. I'm still using it as my second stand for recording things, so like the B-roll things. It still works. But hey, I needed something, and it was on a Sunday evening, and I needed a stand anyway, so it worked. So yeah, and now I have a real camera stand anyway, so yeah, we are evolving here, so we are still getting better and better and better. I did that with my audio, and you are going to do that at some point as well.
At some
On
point,
that,
I hope.
at some point, I really hope that you are going to make a video. You will. People will love you for that. It will be
Yeah, I
hard.
have to take
Actually,
the whole thing apart.
the first time you actually start filming it, it might be a little bit weird and scared to do. But actually, once you
Well,
actually start, once
I'm
you
not
actually,
scared to do it. I'm just lazy because then I have to drag the whole thing out of the other room. I have to cut it open. I'm not even sure that I get it. Can pull it apart very easily, and then I have to talk with it, and it will
well,
take
actually,
another ages.
I did the same thing, and I was thinking, well, I'm just going to film it. I went just like, okay, I made
And
a
it can
script.
narrate it later, like, and here he picks up a screwdriver.
Well,
You can
actually,
see this is
if you want that, I can do that for you with like a with an old granny voice. I can actually alter my voice for you, and I will make like an old granny that's actually helping you.
I
Oh,
probably start picking my
Mark!
nose or scratching my ass.
Mark
Trying
is
to
now
get the thing
scratching
apart.
his ass.
Out of pure frustration, he now scratches his butt.
And now he has his
To be
worker's
honest,
butt.
I'm not even sure anymore what kind of parts are in that computer. I know it's DDR4. I can talk about that, but I'm not even sure what processor I put in there. I think it was an a modern i7 from 5 years ago now, because the thing is 5 years old. So I'm not even sure anymore what kind of processor. So it will be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, that will be a bit of a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, it does have a modern graphics card still, because I only changed that out about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So that's not too old, but and the casing is also the casing old. Well, I guess it's quite old. I think it was already on the market for quite a while when I bought it. It's a CM792, I think.
Oh, I
That's
have.
another one.
Oh, that case. I exactly have the same case as you have.
Yeah, you bought the same one.
I have the same one, but I have the one with the glass side panel. You only
Right.
had
With me, it was just black.
just black, pure black.
Plain black. And there was an SSD in it. I remember that. Actually, there were 2 or 3 SSDs in it. I put a lot of stuff in it eventually.
Yeah, actually, the case itself is a pretty nice case. Actually, I bought it because it was big enough to
Yeah.
house all my hardware.
It is nice, but it is a bit big. I mean, it's bulky. If I compare it to the one I have now, it's just square, It's just not taking in any more space than it needs. But the other one is really bulky. With all kinds of little things on it. It's silvery, and I mean, it really stands out.
Oh well, we will see, and that's
I'll try
it.
to make one.
Yeah, that's it for this evening. We will somewhere do a live stream with camera somewhere this week, and I will say for now, good night.
Goodbye,
Cheers.
good evening.
Cheers, love.
Chop, chop.
Top. Cheers.